Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, this is another Star Wars video, and yes, you've probably heard the news by now. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, or you've seen someone else's thumbnail and title. Yeah, the Acolyte, the brand new live-action Star Wars show that just released on Disney Plus a month or two ago, is officially canceled. Now, some of the people are freaking out, and some people are really pissed off, and you've seen Franchise Fanatic happy and excited, but you've never seen me truly tilted, right? Truly pissed off. And that's kind of what I am. So, I don't know how long this effing video is going to be. I don't know. It's probably going to be a rant. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you do. Of course, it's free. Takes a second. Helps me out. But, yeah, so The Acolyte is a show set in the High Republic era. So, you know, one of the newest eras in the Star Wars canon. Set roughly 100 years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So, you know, for the most part, you know, a lot of the characters that you see in the Skywalker Saga or other Star Wars things are not in this show. This is going to be a spoiler video, a spoiler review. So Nanny and Poppy, my grandparents, we're watching it right now. If you're seeing this before we finish the show, don't watch this one, okay? Skip. Go back to this after we finish the show. But anyway, yeah, so this is a spoiler review. I'm going to be kind of talking about why I love this show so much and why millions upon millions of people love it as well. Now, let's just get some things out of the way first. Some people need to hear this. Star Wars has, I like to call it the fans, and then the fake fans, and then just the shitty people. And you kind of get the fake fans and the shitty people kind of coinciding at the same time. And you've seen that before, right? You've seen it with Return of the Jedi, with the Ewoks, how they ruined Star Wars. With Jar Jar Binks in the prequels, and how he ruined Star Wars, and, quote, George Lucas raped my childhood. You see all these different things that really kind of, you know, transcend negativity and just... You know, I firmly believe that if you're a fan of something, you don't have to love, you know, everything 110%. You know, you can admit if you don't like something. You know, like, example, I don't love the prequels, right? I think they're fun, and they're great because they're Star Wars, and they're really fun to rewatch, and I love them. But they do have some issues with writing and acting. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they don't. Okay, but I don't hate the prequels. I don't wish death upon anyone like they did with Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best and people almost committing suicide because of it. You know, those people are bad people, okay? They're not just bad fans, they're bad people. And same thing with, you know, obviously with the sequels, right? We get, and obviously transcending John Boyega, or Daisy Ridley, or Rose Tico, or Kelly Marie Tran, whoever. Of course, Moses Ingram with Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? The something sister. How, you know, basically, if you're black, a woman, Asian, or something along those lines, you're hated by like 90% of the community, it seems. Now, this is not obviously true. Fun fact, the internet, for some weird effing reason, loves negativity, and they are drawn to that negativity. So when some reject makes a stupid-ass video about how Moses Ingram is the death of Star Wars, how, you know, Daisy Ridley ruined the world, or Kathleen Kennedy is Hitler, you know, then you get, you know, a bunch of sheep or morons go, oh, I guess that's right. Wow! And then it spreads like wildfire. Again, the haters and the fake fans and the bad people, they exist, but they're a very, very vocal minority, I would say. So I'm pulling up my Twitter here. I don't recommend you go on my Twitter. It's basically just Star Wars stuff, but whatever. There's a lot of stuff here that I retweeted or re-exted or whatever, kind of showing the disappointment of The Acolyte. Because again, before we get into why I love it, here's what other people had to say. While it's extremely disappointing to hear that there will be no Season 2 of The Acolyte, again, let me also just say real quick, The Acolyte has not been officially canceled by Lucasfilm or Star Wars. No one has officially confirmed anything. This is just a few reports. I'm assuming it is because they're reliable reports, but Star Wars has not officially said, yeah, get effed, you know what I mean? So who knows? There's always literature that can be used as a way to expand the story. Exactly. So even if we're not going to get a Season 2 of The Acolyte, there are, you know, hundreds of High Republic material you can read, and they can easily make comic books or novels based on these characters, based on the events of what happens after Season 1. Hashtag renew The Acolyte was happening, and now hashtag save The Acolyte is happening. The Acolyte was everything I wanted in a Star Wars series. New era, new characters, new villain, new culture, new story. I hope they bring it back. What the fuck is wrong with you all? That's not me, that's someone else. Jackie, a toy of Jackie, says renew The Acolyte. Their acting was great. They canceled The Acolyte because they couldn't stand the sight of two people holding hands that are not white. a Borderlands 4 thing. Don't worry, I have that video coming out too. Leslie Headland, the creator, dared to be different and give us something different with Star Wars, and it was unique. A wonderful cast, wonderful story, wonderful era, wonderful show. Should have 5+ seasons. I definitely agree. The lightsaber choreography and the Acolyte is some of the best we've had in decades. Tons of people want this. We're not just, you know, we're just not as loud as unbearable as the people who hate it without even watching it. Effing exactly. People are being called retarded, other things, fake fan, terrible person, all that. If you like it, which is really stupid. What else here? I mean, it's like a river of love and a river of disappointment. Nothing's perfect, but how would you hate this? The We Won Everyone crowd, the people that are happy this got canceled, they're very infuriating. If you don't like the show, don't watch it, pretty much. And then, of course, people saying stay strong and just block the rejects and the idiots. Exactly. I mean, I'm just looking at this. It's genuinely exciting. This one I really like. It says, what if George canceled the prequel trilogy after the backlash of The Phantom Menace? What if Dave canceled the Clone Wars Filoni after the backlash of Clone Wars Season 1? If you can't give in to hate when you believe in your work and the story you're putting out, especially when the story that you're connecting with has so many fans. Basically, yeah, this show is loved by a butt ton of people, not just myself. You know, the idiots on Twitter who are like, oh, the 4 people are going to be pissed. Like, they're obviously assholes and they need to go outside and touch grass. But the point is that, you know, you have this band of people that love Star Wars and can admit it has some flaws but are genuinely positive, myself. And then you have the people that are fake fans and claim that, oh, the prequel trilogy sucks, and the sequel trilogy sucks, and all the shows suck, Acolyte sucks, all the books are dumb, but I like the original trilogy and I like The Mandalorian. Then you're not a Star Wars fan. Straight up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. Imagine, I say this all the time, imagine being a fan of, say, Falling in Reverse, right? One of my favorite bands. Imagine saying, oh, I love Falling in Reverse, but I only like one song. Then no, you don't like Falling in Reverse. You like that one song. It happened to be by them. You know what I mean? You're not a fan of them. So, it's really freaking weird. Again, a lot of the stuff that you're going to be seeing toward the backlash is obviously racism and sexism and all the you know, Q words that misogyny, bigotry. I don't even know what the hell that even means. But basically, shitty people doing dumb things. All right. If people are making fun or you know, hating on something because there's a black chick in it or an Asian guy or a whatever, it really is weird. Now, let me say there are a few negatives of the Acolyte. I'm not going to pretend this is some perfect show. Obviously, it was a bit woke. Spoilers, by the way. Nothing too crazy. Again, you get the fake fans and the idiots of the internet saying, oh my god, they ruined Anakin. Oh my god, they ruined Star Wars. They're calling the Force the thread. It's ruined. And it's like, no, just watch the damn shit. Like, watch the show. I swear to God, 90% of the people that hate this show haven't seen the show. They've seen the hard-right Republican rejects making their effing clickbait thumbnails of Kathleen Kennedy crying or some AI image of Daisy Ridley laughing. It's just... it's total garbage. Now, again, it is a bit woke. I'm not going to say it's not, alright? The whole island of women, that's not woke. In Star Wars canon, witches are female. That's not the problem. Obviously, you get the lesbian, the black lady, and Aisha, and the Zabrak, I think, the girl with the horns. Yes, they don't outright bang, and they don't kiss. So, really, the only people telling us that they're lesbian, technically, are the creators. You get a sense because she touches her chin, I guess. I don't know, you know what I mean? But, yeah, obviously, I'm a straight dude, and I love this show. Obviously, I don't agree with lesbian, gay choices and all that. I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm just, my religion, don't jive with me. But that is not the biggest deal in the world. They don't kiss, they don't have sex, nothing like that. Now, the big issue everyone had is that, oh, well, these two women, these two lesbian space witches, used the Force to make a kid. That's horrible. Obviously, look, let me explain something here. Star Wars is not trying to ruin biology. Obviously, it's common sense that there's male and female, okay? That's it. And then the male has sex with the female, and then a boy or a girl happens. That's it. You know, like, that's it. You can't have sex with two women and make a baby, okay? They're not trying to change how God works or change biology. What happens in the show, if you actually effing watched it and paid attention, is that clearly, Mother Aisha and I think Mother Coral, they're talking, and they kind of, you know, they're using your brain and context clues. They're on this island, right? They're hiding from something. They're hiding from the Jedi. Why? Well, they clearly say when they're talking to each other, oh, well, you know, imagine, well, they're kind of talking about the, you know, Osha and May, and they're saying, hey, what's going to happen if the Jedi find out how we created them? So, clearly, the two moms know they effed up and they did something bad, alright? And then even when Master Indara, Carrie Ann Moss's character, sees, and she's like, where's the dad? And they're like, they have no father. Ring, 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 Anakin. But also, that didn't happen yet. But in the context of the show, Indara's like, the fuck? You know what I mean? She's like, hold up, you know, this is kind of weird. So no, they're not trying to rewrite biology with some woke BS. Yeah, the two lesbians trying to have a kid. When out of context, it's weird. But when you actually watch the show and use what's called your brain, you will actually know that they didn't make a kid because they couldn't, there was no penis and vagina to, you know, make a kid. They didn't do that. They made this kid because they want their legacy to continue and this coven to continue and this tribe to continue. That's why they're hiding, because the mother and Aisha clearly says it. Women like us aren't thought of as great. And no, that's not some woke oppressed thing. In canon, women, who are witches, are generally seen as bad people who do dark magic, crazy bad stuff. And literally, you know, how Anakin didn't have a father either, right? Anakin Skywalker was conceived purely from the Force. Let me say that again. Anakin Skywalker was conceived purely from the Force. Osha and May were not conceived purely from the Force. They were conceived via tampering with the dark side. That's the difference. Nothing has been ruined with Anakin. He's still the chosen one. He's still special. Osha and May are not the first chosen ones or something. They are simply daughters created through dark magic to continue a tribe's coven life. That's effing it. And these people are freaking out online because they didn't watch the show. They read some stupid Republican and again, I'm Republican, but I'm not stupid Republican, you know what I mean? I have my morals and shit. These people are just clickbaiting to Kingdom Coming Back. So you get that, and that's really a mess. You know, maybe Basil isn't the most you know, great character ever, the Tracker, you know, whatever. Some of the, you know, most of the characters die in episode 5, so that is kind of like, oh, you know, there you go. Obviously, they are, I believe they're making more canon material to draw on these characters like Jecki and Yord and all that before their deaths in the show. But where, you know, Osha and Chimere, the Stranger, kind of end up in the end of the season, obviously, we don't know. I'm assuming we're going to find out soon. But again, not to say the show is perfect. Again, I just kind of touched upon some of my negatives. You know, maybe the child acting with Osha and May for a few scenes isn't the best in the entire world. But nothing in the show is outright bad. Nothing in the show is that woke where you're going to be like, oh my god, you know, I mean, it's not. There's lesbians in Andor, and they're more clearly lesbian than the people in this show. So I don't know what the frickin' problem is. Also, you have the, you know, like I said, all these other people trying to make mountains out of molehills, which doesn't help. But basically the reason why this show got canceled is essentially because of, you know, from what we're being told, low viewers. In that, you know, not many people were logging on to Disney Plus to watch the show. I did. All my friends were, for the most part. Yeah, I did buy the Blu-ray. I don't have it with me, but I bought the Blu-ray on eCreator just because I like to watch it without ads. But I did. I suffered through the effing ads. I watched all 8 episodes the night they dropped. I loved it. I watched it twice. You know, I know a lot of people that did the same thing, sometimes even more than twice. And it's really a shame that it got canceled because, again, of the low viewers. But let's not pretend ourselves that the fake fans are right. Low viewers equals bad quality. No. I bet you 1,000,000% the reason why this show has such low viewers is, I already said it, people hate. They spread rumors, they spread lies, they say the show's woke. Oh man, there's a black woman. Oh man, there's an Asian guy. Oh man, there's lesbians. Oh my god, you know what I mean? Don't watch it. Now again, I'm not for some of the woke stuff either, but the show really isn't woke at all. There's like one baby element, and it's barely even effing there. So when you look past all that, you know, which is very easy to do because again, it's not even shoved down your throat at all. You know, you get these scenes where you know, these people they make it up. They say that this ruins canon. Eddie Mundi, he's in the show. Oh my god, they broke the lore. No, they didn't. Oh my god, Osha and May are the real chosen ones. Anakin's not special. No, I already debunk that. It's not true. You see what I'm saying? People see these things and you know, they jump on the bandwagon and it spreads like a effing wildfire, like I said, and people believe this stupid shit, and then they go, oh, well, I'm not watching that. They ruined Star Wars, apparently, you know. But if you actually watch the show and use your brain, they didn't ruin anything. It's actually a great show. So let me go into why I love this show. A, I love that we get a mystery murder mystery in the Star Wars universe, right? In the trailers, it is, again, spoilers, it's, OSHA, or, you know, this lady is murdering Jedi. Okay. And then in episode 1, we find out that it's not actually OSHA, it's May, and that they're twin sisters. That's cool. That's something new to Star Wars, for the most part, as far as I'm aware. Nothing I've seen that before. OSHA and May, you know, one's good, one's bad. The audience, thinks that OSHA is the killer, so that when she kills Master Andara, she wakes up in her bed, acting all good and happy and talking to Pip, her droid, and, you know, Yord comes in, and he's suspicious. The audience is also suspicious, and then we find out in the episode that she's a twin. That's good writing. That's how you subvert our expectations in a fun way. Also, we get Chimera, who's a freaking badass Sith, right? Really good stuff. The fight scenes in the show are incredible. Some of the best we've ever seen in the whole franchise. Now, a lot of people berate the sequel trilogy fights, which the sequel trilogy fights are incredible, probably my favorite, but there's a canonical reason why they're not doing the crazy flips and stuff that you see in this show and in the prequels, right? In the lore of Star Wars, Jedi get trained on Coruscant, this big temple on the planet, and essentially, there is no temple for them to train on in the sequels and the originals. That's why Luke's swinging his lightsaber like a baseball bat. That's why, you know, Rey is kind of just swinging it around too. They're not getting trained by High Republic or prequel trilogy era Jedi. They don't have that training. They just pick up a sword and they start swinging, you know what I mean? Obviously, Kylo Ren has a little bit and whatnot, Luke Skywalker and whatever, you know, there's some exceptions. But for the most part, the reason why the sequel trilogy fights aren't as flashy bang-bang as the prequels or the Acolyte is that reason. But the High Republic is the High Republic, and that's why the Acolyte fight scene choreography is so freaking crazy and good, is because it's supposed to be like that. So yeah, the fight scenes are great. I love the music. The music's really great. I love the acting. I think everyone, for the most part, did a really good job. Chimera did a freaking crazy job of you know, playing these two, I guess, different characters. OSHA and May, of course, when they're adults, they're played by the same actress, but I think Amandla, whatever, Stern Flurb, or whatever her name is, I don't know. She did a great job, though. I think she did a really good job of kind of nailing the evil May and the good OSHA until, of course, they end up switching, which is another example of great writing. You also get really great CGI. I think that they nailed Basil. I think that's like half CGI, half animatronic, or whatever. You know, the plants look great, the atmospheres look great, the jungles, everything looks really good. Nothing really stands out as being, oh my god, that's really bad. You know, it's not like Ant-Man Quantumania level bad. So that's good. You also get, like I said, really good writing with, again, subverting our expectations. Also, kind of having, in episode 3, an entire flashback episode of seeing OSHA and May as children, how they do the Ascension ceremony where they become witches. And OSHA is very much like Luke, Anakin, and Rey. And she's like, hey, I wanna see the galaxy and not be part of this stupid covenant. I don't want to be a witch. And May's like, no, you gotta be a witch. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna burn down this place. And of course, you know, she takes the fire and burns everything. And an example of great writing is that not only do we take our time with OSHA and May in the adult form and when they're children to kind of, you know, show how their characters are being formed, we also, you know, see Mother Anaisha and Coral. But, you know, when May burns everything down, you know, all the witches are dead in a very effing weird position. And I remember the whole internet when they weren't shitting on it. Like, for example, me and my other friends were like, oh, this is weird. I wonder what's going to happen. Wow, this is crazy. You know, it's like some people forgot this was a TV show. They're like, this is stupid. I don't get it. You know, it's like, you calm down. Wait, finish the damn show before you make up your mind. Which no one did, apparently. But I did, and it was freaking great. So we go back to episode 7, and we get to see the same events from a different point of view, and we get to see that, you know, the Jedi were very flawed. Sol made some pretty jacked up mistakes. Torben basically was a Padawan, and he just was anxious and nervous, and he wanted to go home. And the, the Virgins or whatever was key to doing that. Indara literally murdered all those witches by severing their connection at once, kind of basically breaking their brains. Kelnaka turned evil for a second because of I think it was Mother Coral or someone. So yeah, lots of crazy stuff happened, and being able to see one perspective and then the other perspective is not lazy. It's actually good writing because we get to see the two different variations, which is really great. Episode 5, again, has some of the best action. Really crazy balls move to kill off half your effing cast in one episode. And then, of course, the ending where we get really good breadcrumbs kind of leading for OSHA to turn to the dark side and May to not really turn good, but also kind of become more neutral. We see OSHA kind of at first it's curiosity with the helmet, but then also, you know, she puts it on and she kind of gets in this trance and she kind of listens to Chimera and listens to what he has to say, and she, by the end of it, literally for the first time ever in Star Wars canon, makes a lightsaber bleed on screen, which is effing crazy cool, and she ends up becoming evil and learning with the stranger Chimera because she feels that the Jedi have wronged her, which they pretty much did. May kind of, we don't know what the hell's going to happen with May, but she's talking with Vernestra, and Vernestra's going to talk with Yoda. We'll have to see. We get to see Darth Plagueis in canon for the first time. That's freaking crazy cool. Of course, that has major implications as he is Palpatine's master. We also get, again, like I said, some really good writing with the you know, character moments with Soul. I think he's really great. I think him being a flawed person is good because it's kind of signaling the beginning of the Jedi. This show is not in any space claiming that the Jedi are bad and the Sith are good. This is just showing that they are human people. Soul, as Vernestra says in the last episode, Soul was a good man who did a terrible thing. He was a good person who maybe favored Osha over May, made some bad decisions, accidentally killed Anaisha out of you know, basically being scared and misunderstanding the situation, but he had good intentions. He was never a bad person. He wanted to take Osha as his Padawan and help her and give her a life that she wanted. He's a good person. He just did a really jacked up thing. Same with Endara and everyone else, and that spans kind of the group, and that's kind of what leads them all to kind of break away, and that's basically why May's trying to kill them all. Very good writing to have you know, in episodic format, piece together and find out what's going to happen next and why May is doing this, and oh man, I think maybe Osha might be turning, and then by the end of it, you really want more. And again, we had great action, great writing, great acting. Like I said, the woke thing is barely in it. It's extremely easy to just not even look past. It's very, very not really a thing in this show. I'd say it's more in Andor, actually. And then we also see, you know, the Virgins and how they were made, how Osha and May look alike and act the same and kind of dress the same because they're literally the same effing person because they are the Virgins. I think that's really great stuff. Again, it's a shame that this did get canceled because I want to know what happens next. I'm assuming they're going to put some comic or some novel out. They have to. I mean, it's Star Wars. You can't just not do it. Like, you know, the movie Solo didn't make $1 billion, but we may not be getting a Solo 2, but we did get comics and novels on Kira and what's happening with Crimson Dawn, right? So we got stuff. I'm assuming we'll get stuff here too. But it's just a shame, man, because when you really sit down and take the BS on Twitter out of your mind and just watch the show, it's very good. It has great music, good acting, good CGI, good plot, very intense, epic action, really good character moments, and by the end of it, you really want more. So again, it's really much a shame. I'm very freaking mad that essentially it looks like, on the one hand, on, you know, the surface level, it seems like Disney caved to the racists and the sexists and the really bad people and the fake fans, right? They were like, oh, we better not do this. In actuality, it's because they didn't get enough views, which sucks. Everyone I know was pretty much watching it, and essentially, my opinion, and I like to think this is fact if you have a brain, like I said, many people didn't see it because they're sheep and they heard that it was trash and woke and bad. They didn't want to watch it. It's a shame because it's actually amazing if you watch it. There's a lot of really epic moments, really good character moments. For example, how Osha falls in the first episode backwards on that, I think, snowy mountain or whatever, and Soul kind of saves her. That, you know, mirrors and parallels how he chose to save Osha when they fell. Again, when you watch episode 3 versus episode 7, you get a different story. You can see what really happened from a different perspective. And again, it shows that the Jedi are not evil, but they are flawed people, and they're human, and they make mistakes sometimes, but they generally do have good intentions. Again, Chimera is a great villain, and he's making some good pointers for Osha. I think that they are genuinely very well-written characters. I love the acting. Again, there's a few instances here or there. Osha may be a little dry in 1 or 2 scenes. You know, maybe young Osha and young May aren't the best child actors in the universe for 1 or 2 scenes, but it's nothing that crazy, and it's a hell of a lot better acting than anything in the prequels for sure, and some in the originals too. And I'm very much interested to see if this, hopefully when this you know, story continues, regardless of what form it takes. But yeah, man, as a true fan of Star Wars who doesn't think everything is perfect, but generally loves everything, I am very sad that this happened. I genuinely loved The Acolyte, and I really enjoyed watching it every week. It was really funny to see people bitching and complaining online and saying how everything was ruined, and then actually watching the show and clearly seeing how nothing got ruined. I remember Coyote Mundi showing up, and people were like, oh my god, they broke the lore! Disney's so stupid, they don't understand anything. Wah! Star Wars Theory had a meltdown. It was amazing. And then, oh wait, let me do my research. Oh shit, look at that. Coyote Mundi. Oh yeah, he does have a birth age, but oh, it's in Legends. It's not canon. Oh. Wait, Coyote Mundi doesn't... He never had a birth date in canon before? Whoa! I guess the species aged slow. That's cool. We got a cameo, but instead people are claiming that Disney doesn't understand, Leslie doesn't understand, and all that. Now, I get it. Talk about Leslie real quick. Leslie is a, I think, a good person because she created a good show. Is she a little weird? Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves. 90% of the marketing for this was how instead of talking about how the CGI was amazing, or how the writing was so good, or the acting was good, or how the action scenes were phenomenal, or how the plot is really twisty and turny and leaves you wanting more, and you're on the edge of your seat, and it's a brand new era, new lore, new characters, new world, they instead decided to talk about how gay everything is. Now again, nothing in the show is that gay and lesbian except for like one baby scene, and it flies by like that. Okay? There are a few actors and actresses who are gay in this, but again, as a straight guy, I watched it. I didn't feel oppressed. I didn't feel bad. Again, they were on record saying, oh yeah, this is the most, this is so queer, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, maybe don't talk about that. Like, no offense, but that group, again, they're fine people. They're not killing people. They're not murderers. But morally, I don't agree with their choices. It is let's be honest, a small minority of people compared to straight people. So it is a little bit weird that they were like, yeah, let's market toward that, and essentially piss off 99% of the base. I get it, representation, whatever. But if you're representing someone, do it in a normal way. Don't, like, if you're making a Star Wars show, don't talk about lesbians. Talk about the damn Star Wars show. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? So talking about the show and marketing it kind of was a big friggin' flop. And that kind of pissed a lot of people. It pissed me off. I was like, I don't care about that. I don't care. You're lesbian. I don't give a shit. Where's the Star Wars? You know what I mean? Where's the action? Talk about something, please. And that's kind of why it kind of fell off the rails for a lot of people. That being said, the show really isn't that woke at all. There's one little thing, like I said. It's really not that crazy. But at the end of the day, it does really suck that the minority of people who were screaming online and how horrible this was or how they broke the lore, again, nothing of the lore was broken. Nothing. I will tell you in the comments if you really want to know. If you have a question, I'll answer for you in the comments. I don't care. I'll do it. I don't know everything about Star Wars. I'm not, you know, Star Wars Jesus, but I know more than most people on the internet who claim that everything gets ruined every day. Nothing gets ruined. Fires in space? Yeah, in real life that wouldn't happen, but guess what? Star Wars has fires in space. We've seen it before. That's not new. That doesn't break anything. People are stupid. They don't like to think. They don't like to watch it. They like to see other people talk about it and say how bad it is. Just like the Borderlands movie. I actually enjoyed the Borderlands movie. Is it great? No, but it's fine. I don't care if it has a negative 8% on YouTube. I like Borderlands, so I'm going to go up and see the movie. Regardless of what you or anyone else says. I'm making my own mind up. So that's what I ended up doing, and that's what everyone should have done, given this a chance and watched it, made up your own mind instead of listening to some far-right turd talk about how woke it is and then not watch it. Again, it's a sad reality. We've seen this with The Mandalorian to a baby extent, more or less with the Book of Boba Fett, and we've seen, you know, with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the sequels, of course. And look, again, I'm not saying all Star Wars is perfect, but I do genuinely love it all, and 99.99.99.99.9%, I'm being genuine here. That's like a C-3PO ass percentage, and that is that's the percentage of people claiming that Star Wars is ruined and all that, and it's not. Like, that's the reality. Nothing was ruined. Nothing in the lore was broken. Nothing in the canon was destroyed. It all makes sense. Please watch it and use your brain. It works. Same thing with the sequels. It works. Same thing with everything else. They're not, people making this stuff are not idiots. They're thinking this through. They're not stupid. People that claim, you know, when they're not being horrible people and wishing death on people and telling them to kill themselves because of an opinion. Well, you know what, I was talking so long, the camera decided to go to a black screen. Anyway, I was saying that the people that make these things, don't worry, we're almost done. The people that make these things are not stupid, okay? They clearly care about the source material and they understand what's going to go on. They understand. Leslie Headland, when she's not being a little weird in the interviews, she genuinely loves and knows about this franchise. And it kind of sucks that, again, this kind of got ripped away from her at the end. But anyway, to clear things up and just kind of I guess, sum things up. I love the Acolyte. I love this era. I love all things Star Wars. Again, it's not all perfect in my opinion, but I do love it all. I can't wait for the future. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We got the Rey Skywalker movie, Skeleton Crew, which who knows if that gets effing canceled after one season. We got a bunch of comic books and novels. And again, I'm assuming they're going to tackle the Acolyte Season 2 with what would have been Season 2 in these new books. Again, it really makes me mad that the racists and horrible people won. It just sucks that, I get it, on a monetary standpoint, they weren't making money. But they weren't making money because, again, those people were telling them not to watch it. And, again, if you actually sit down and watch the show and use your brain and actually know Star Wars, nothing broke the canon. Everything works. It's a great show, and you know, maybe not perfect, but I think you know, it's like if I were to rate it, I'd probably give it a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. I genuinely loved it. Vernestro's Padawan annoyed me. He sounds like a snake. That's not a negative, but I just had to say it. But no, I genuinely did love this show, man, and I'm really bummed about it. But hey, at least we got Season 1, and we're probably going to get more stuff. I know we did get some books announced at D23 that happened before Season 1. I'm assuming we're going to get some stuff that happens after it as well. Again, great story, great characters, great writing, great action, great CGI, great music. Really not a whole lot to hate. You know, people that claim it's woke or that there's an agenda or that it's, you know, that they broke the lore. Again, they didn't watch the show. It's actually really great. Anyway, yeah, I'm very sad about this, and hopefully we can get more. You know, maybe it's actually not, and this is all a big freaking lie. I don't know. But again, as a fan of Star Wars and a fan of the Acolyte, I genuinely loved it, and I'm really sad to see it go. Again, I know we're going to be getting some more content, I'm assuming, you know, regardless of medium, but in terms of the TV show, it's done, and I'm mad about it, but what do you do? They don't care about what I have to say, but just know that if you enjoyed the Acolyte, you're not alone. Millions of people loved it. The people that you hear hating on it are a very vocal minority, and they need to shut up and please, I don't know, go to Star Trek or something. Anyway, I had a great time watching the show, and Star Wars, it's never been a better time to be a Star Wars fan, but right now I'm a little ticked. I had to get this off my chest. I love the Acolyte, and I'm very sad it's gone, but I really did enjoy rewatching it, and at least I own it now, and I'll be able to watch it whenever I want, support it, and yeah, great show regardless. Really mad, but tell me in the comments down below what you think about it. Yeah, like I said, great stuff all around for the most part, and the future looks bright. Hopefully they don't cancel anything going forward. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.